What do you think makes X-Men so appealing?
Everyone can relate to it. It's based on, X-Men is based on a comic book that's been around for 40 years, so there are a lot of fans. But all of us have known that feeling of what it's like to be a mutant. A mutant in our movie is someone with special powers. They have a mutated gene, so some part of them is extra special. But because of that, they're ostracized and persecuted in society because people are scared of them. And all of us know what that feels like.
I want to know how you prepare to play this role.
Wolverine is he's very tough. He's got a tough exterior and a lot going on inside. But when you look at him, he seems like a very cool guy. He's very muscular and strong, so I have to go to the gym.
Yeah,
and I train
tell me.
Well, I start at least 4 months before. I'm fairly health conscious myself. I do always train. But I had to go 4 months before and really train a lot and eat a lot. I didn't realize.
Eat a lot.
So much food. I mean, like a sumo wrestler. I was eating non-stop. And not fun stuff either, by the way. Not beer and pizza and just steamed chicken, steamed fish, steamed vegetables, steamed rice.
Lots of protein.
Lots of protein all the time. So, and never stopped eating. I never got hungry. The moment I digested food, more came in. That's the hardest thing, actually,
so
physically.
What, did you gain weight?
Oh, yeah. I probably put on 30 pounds of muscle.
For this?
Yeah. And then I do have a few little rituals. I take a cold shower every morning when I play this role because I hate cold showers, right? But, you know, when you stand in a freezing cold shower first thing in the morning, it really gets you angry. It's kind of like, And so I do that every morning as a little reminder because that's what it feels like to play that character. Inside he's like a tight core ready to spring.
Well, in this film there's a lot of action stuff, you know. Were you ever in any accident at all?
I'm a very clumsy person.
You are?
There's more footage of me tripping over, bumping into things, and here I am with these 9-inch claws. Literally by the end of the film, my legs look like pincushions because I just keep hitting myself.
看了之前的节目，是否对荧屏中那个刚毅果敢的金刚狼有了更深一步的了解呢？一位光鲜亮丽的明星背后，往往隐藏着不为人知的努力与辛酸。作为澳洲最成功的男演员的 HUGH JACKMAN 也不例外。接下来就让我们了解一下他是怎样从一个业余小丑成为好莱坞一线巨星的成长经历。
Tell me a little bit about how you were raised. You were raised by your father, huh?
My mother and father split up when I was 8. So up until I was 8, it was my mother mainly and father. And then my mother left and she went back to England and then my father raised five children.
So 5 children, right? How has he influenced you?
My father? My father is an amazing man. He's very disciplined. I've never heard him say a bad word about anybody. My father is incredibly ethical. And when I said to him I wanted to be an actor, I was a little nervous about it because, you know, for an accountant, you know, the whole world of acting is very unsafe.
Right? I know.
And he, right off the bat, said, I think that's a wonderful thing for you to do. But if you're going to do acting, you learn it. You learn the craft like you learn anything. Like you're going to be an engineer, like you're going to be a lawyer. You learn how to do it, and you do it properly. My father was all about education.
But acting was really not your first choice. You graduated in journalism.
Yes.
But then how did acting come into?
I just wasn't as good as you.
I'm not even an actor. I wish.
We can do a swap.
Tell me.
I did journalism. Acting was a hobby for me. I mean, I was doing acting since I was this big, 5. I mean, not professional. But when I was 5, I was doing it at school, right through high school, even at university. And while I was at university, I used to make a living by doing clowning at kids' parties, which was the hardest work I've ever done as an actor.
Why?
Because kids are the toughest audience of all. I remember very clearly going to a birthday party for a 7-year-old. And I remember being 5 minutes into this routine, I was juggling something, you know, hey, and this kid stood up and he goes, hey, Mum, this clown's terrible. He doesn't know any magic. He doesn't even know any tricks. I'm bored.
Can you still juggle 5 balls? 4 balls.
I'll try 4.
Okay, I have 4 balls for you.
Okay, that's 3. Now.
Okay, can I do 4?
Okay, this is my warm-up.
This is warm-up. Oh, not bad.
So anyway, to go back to your earlier question.
How did you get into movies? Acting.
Well, I graduated, and it was time to go and get a job as a journalist. When you start as a journalist, the job is terrible. The job, you have to go and knock on doors of people who've just, the parents of a kid who's just died, and get an interview with it. And I just said, I don't know if I can stomach it. I didn't even know if I could get a job. I thought, well, while I'm thinking about it, I'll just go and do some more acting because I just loved it. And then one thing led to another, and that was 15, 16 years ago.
阳光四月，欣赏 X 档案大不同。X 游记，让我们到日本感受踏青的乐趣，融入法国的热气球节，沉醉在法兰西的香颂中。X 风情带来老上海的咖啡余味，和人类最好的朋友狗狗一起探访高级时装的未来。X 爱看，本届奥斯卡获奖电影精彩呈现，让我们一睹影帝影后们的迷人风采。
歌剧演员出身的show JACKMAN演技一流，歌喉也一样毫不逊色，这让他很早就是音乐剧舞台上的常客。而在2004年，他更是凭借着来自奥兹国的男孩里的出色表演，一举拿下了百老汇演出里的最高荣誉 Tony 奖。现在就去听听他在音乐剧中所经历的种种趣事。
I also saw you on Broadway, The Boy from Oz,
Yes.
about Peter Allen.
Yes.
And you were really extraordinary as well. You won a Tony
Yes.
for it.
Yes.
You won a Tony. Do you find it different playing on stage?
It's very different. I grew up watching the theatre. I grew up dreaming as an actor of the theatre. That's where my dreams were. I mean, when I went to a movie set, it was quite foreign to me. And it took me a little while to adjust to it. When you're on stage, however, I won't forget a second of that night for the rest of my life. It was The Boy from Oz. The connection I had with the audience carried me every night. The energy that audience gave me at times, you felt like you're lifted up off the stage and you're just flying. It's an extraordinary experience.
I cried in that play. It was
And
so
we met.
much. I have a picture.
We met up on the stage.
No, you were in Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you tell me some story about Beauty and the Beast?
I think I know the story you want me to tell. Is it the one where I drank too much water?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It was my first stage show, professionally, first music. And I was getting headaches all the time. And I went to a naturopath. And someone recommended it to naturopath to give me a holistic medicine, Chinese herbs and things like that. And he said, Hugh, you're dehydrated. You're not used to being on stage, singing, sweating. He said drink 2 liters of water, up to 5.
2 liters.
Right? So, of course, my personality is I drink 3. So I drank 3 liters of water, and they said, all right, places please for the beginning of the show. And I was like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom. And then I said, great. So I've been to the bathroom. I went down and I waited in the wings. And within 15 minutes, which is when I go on stage, I was like, I need to go to the bathroom again. I was like, oh, well, I'll go after my song. So I go on stage and I start singing my song, and I discovered that the very muscles that you contract to hold on are the ones you need to release when you sing. So I was faced with this horrible dilemma on the last note, which is this top F sharp, and it's a big note. And somebody goes, I'm Mary, and I go, me, this is a long note. And I'm the very front center, and I'm thinking, I'm just about to sing the note, and I thought, do I sing the note? Or do I pee my pants? And I sang the note. I went, me, just pee.
Your favorite song? Hum for me, couple of parts.
You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, You just might find you get what you need. Oh yeah. Let's go.
当年，美国人物杂志推出年度最性感男士的榜单中，是由杰克曼荣获全球最性感男士的称号。2000年到2004年，他更是入选世界最美50人。自然，他的追随者，特别是女性，更是对他趋之若鹜。接下来，我们就来看看作为超级性感偶像的休·杰克曼是如何抵挡来自万千女影迷的爱情攻势。
You are so handsome. Obviously, you're successful and very famous. And there must be millions of women that are just throwing themselves at you. How do you resist them?
I have a wife who you know, who is the most sexy, amazing, funny, loving, beautiful woman I've ever met in the world. Now, when I met her, I was single, working. It was, in fact, I met her on my first job.
Actor, right?
Right,
TV.
Single, earning money for the first time in my life, in a new city. I was having a great time. I was enjoying my life. I had no plans of settling down. I had no plans of getting married. I met this woman called Deborah Lee. Bang! I mean, it was 10 times better. It wasn't like, there was never a feeling of sacrifice. Oh, I'm missing out. Oh, what? I met this woman. I'm like, this is my life partner. Let's go. And I had a very good piece of advice from somebody in relation to your question. When you meet a woman, if they're the same age as you, treat them as your sister. If they're a little younger than you, still sexy, treat them as your daughter. And if they're older than you, treat them as your mother. And it's very easy to resist. that just distills the energy just like that.
Yeah.
What do you think of your husband?
Not only is he a great actor, he's a good cook. And he's good somewhere else, which I won't share.
And what do you like? What do you not like about him? Is there anything you don't?
Absolutely nothing I don't like about him.
Whoa, you and millions of women.
Yeah, probably other women think that too.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Hugh Jackman?
I feel him nightly.
You're so lucky.
Now, you are voted as one of the sexiest men in the world. Do you think you are sexy, Hugh?
No, I don't think of myself as sexy.
You don't?
No, I mean, but I'll tell you what I find sexy.
Okay. Yeah.
In a woman or in a man is confidence and self-knowledge. Someone who knows themselves. You know what I mean by that? Mm-hmm. They just feel comfortable in their skin. No matter what situation they're in, whether they're up on stage, whether they're meeting someone at a dinner party, they seem comfortable in themselves. And that confidence is unbelievably sexy. So I think now, more confident person than when I began.